everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is the September update video. We've got a couple of updates in this one. We've got progress on brake lines, some firewall forward stuff, and some interior skins as well. On top of that, we started working on the glass on the doors. So the acrylic windows, at least on the doors, are also done. I'll go ahead and I'll share some of those video clips with you in just a second, but let's turn around and let's take a look, see what we've got going on overall. Okay, first up, the easiest, interior skins. So I started laying these out and getting them ready because there's really nothing else left on the inside to get done. There is some thing that's interesting on the skins, which is that front seatbelt bolt hole is a little tough to reach. As you can tell, like the skin is covering the vast majority of it. So that's a challenge. The other challenge is, I guess, self-induced. And so I can see why Midwest and some of the other builders decide to take their brake lines through this hole. And so, well, this rivet hole, right? So what they do usually is they straighten this out a little bit more and they drill this out and fit the brake line through that center. Now, I thought doing that kind of weakens the other four rivet hole structures a little bit more. So I've got it going through the back. Now, this green line, of course, represents the floor skin, the interior floor skin, and so this is what it is right now. And this, I've seen this before as well, and it works really well. Honestly, the problem is self-induced now because you can tell I need to make a bigger notch than what I was anticipating over here to be able to access the pass-through for that brake line, which is the bulkhead fitting, and the nut that attaches to it, of course, that connects to the brake line. So that's not really a big challenge. I'm going to open this up, and my goal is to take Sling provides this plate, and it's the cover for the landing gear bolts. Well, I am just going to make this plate longer and bring it over here as well. And what I'll end up doing is I'll put a couple of riv nuts on the skin and be able to secure that a little bit better. So it'll have, I don't know, 4 riv nuts along here and a couple along the skin, and then one over here as well, and one over there. Yeah, it'll be pretty good. But I need to do a bunch of M4 riv nuts on this area to make that good. I need to do the same thing over there, and then I've got one more access hole that I want to provide, which is over here as well. So I have a lot of cable routing happening there and some other stuff, so I just want to make that accessible as well, going in there. So the other thing on the skin is I've got it dropped in pretty much where it needs to go on the back. Let me focus it back out. But you'll notice over here there's a rivet hole here, and there's a rivet hole down here which is inaccessible. So I'm going to rivet it here as well. I have to take the rear seat bracket out and put it back in. It's cleat so no big deal, but that'll make room for that. Speaking of seatbelt and the bolt attachments, so Sling had a bulletin for the attachment bolts, right? So I got those the other day, and it's a larger bushing and probably the same bolt, honestly. But I have the original here, and you could tell here it's smaller bushing, and God, that's awful, and a lock washer basically that they got in there. So that's the new stuff, and that's the service bulletin stuff that's going to get done. I started with the rear seat heat, floor heat, because we know those rear duct holes are awesome. So I have the tubing for it. It's going to run along. The main carry-through spar, and it's going to end up coming in there, going there, and then going over here. Let me show you the parts for that. I've got them laying on a side table here. So these are the parts for it. This is the little Y adapter for it, and then to go from the larger tubing to the smaller for this, they provided a reducer. This came from a Etsy maker. So if you go to Etsy and you look for Sling rear heater ducts, it'll probably show up as well. But this is the port itself, the duct, and so you know, when I'm finished making the hole and all that, the small tube will go here, and the actual opening will go to this. So have that, and then this T is the floor heat for the pilot and co-pilot side, so that can go in between as well. So that's all those pieces. Super excited about that. Firewall forward stuff, you can tell all of it's on the table right now. I'm waiting to finish that area, and I do have the tougher firewall shield as well in the box, and this is that. Sorry, it's upside down. Let me turn you upside down for a second. It's the Floor and Tunnel Shield 2 by DEI. So that's that, and again, super tough stuff. But let me show you what this firewall looks like. Right now, there's a big paper template on it. So big paper template has all the pieces that I need to cut. And so it's pretty much ready. I do have one piece for the Beringer brake reservoir, which I've got built, and that's going to end up going on the firewall. At the build seminar last week, they were putting it on the firewall, a brake reservoir for Beringer, just like the Matco brake reservoir. So right here is good, and they haven't had a problem with it, and it's much more accessible than where Sling suggests it previously, which is underneath the avionics tray, basically wedged in front, kind of in a weird spot where it would be really hard to bleed brakes or do anything else like that in the future. So that's what I got there. I'm waiting for the Naviflow to come in. I have that on order. There's going to be a fuel in and fuel out on this side, and then over here, these two holes represent what would have been the gascolator, and now the Naviflow needs to go in here instead. The guys at Midwest, they provide a kind of like template drill jig to line up, so I'll do that, and then we'll go from there. But this is the overall paper template. I did one previously as well, but now basically I have a front for it also. So life is good on that side, right? Other than that, I've got these kind of just cleat in place because I'm again waiting to see how this all plays out. But obviously, I need to rivet this in place and need to rivet the side supports in place as well, and that'll get done in the next couple of days with the side skin installation as well. So that is good. All right, let me drop videos for you on the brake lines and the windows and what I've done there. So I'll do that now, and then yeah, see you in a second. Well, let's talk a little bit about brake lines. So I've got the Beringer kit, obviously. My wheels pretty red. So it came with the stainless braided kit, and pretty straightforward. It's got the fittings mostly included. I did have to buy 4 more of these. I bought them directly from Beringer. So these are 0080P or OP, I think is a fitting. And then I bought the 90-degree firewall or pass-through bulkhead, pass-through, right? I put they fit a washer perfectly, but I did have to cut the washer down. And the reason why it's like this is this green line is the floor deck on the inside. So let me show you the inside real quick. And you can tell I already got a line going through here, and I got the fitting on it as well. So that line right now, you can tell I'm using the heat shrink tubing, again, because it's stainless steel going through aluminum parts, stainless steel wins on abrasion. So I've got it protected. These fittings are fairly straightforward. I just cut them with my Dremel, and I'm just using blurry. I'm just using that wheel, so very nice. The fitting itself comes with the end and a little olive, and then the piece that pushes in the tubing. Now, the braided steel itself, ouch, focus please. There we go. It has an inner nylon core, and of course the braided outer. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my screwdriver, and I'm going to flare this stuff out after I get this on. So this threaded piece is going to go on like this. The olive is going to go, this little olive piece, it's wide on the back. It's going to go into the tube and then sit flush against the tube. And I'll show you guys that in a second here. But that's going to be that. And to flare this out, I'm just going to use a little tiny Phillips, and I'm just going to go in there and work around the tube and flare the steel out a little bit, and then we'll get this thing on. And I'll show you that in just a second. All right, so here we have it completed basically, right? So the olive is on. I pressed it on against just on the side of my workbench, and yeah, now this will go together. And so the next piece is this center core will just go in here. I'll push it all the way in, and then we'll tighten the fittings down, and those fittings are pretty easy to cinch as well. So let's get that done, and then we'll take a look at it. All right, so there we go. Well, wherever the camera is right now, there we go. All right, so we have the fitting on there successfully. It looks good. And yeah, it's just a 1/2 and 7/16 wrenches that worked for this. So that's good. Still have to do the other end. I need to put the heat shrink tubing on before I do that part. The other end's laying right there. So I'll put two 3/8 heat shrink tubes on here and get those set, and then we'll kind of go from there. Well, it's window time, and as you can tell, I got a little tape happy. So I tried to put tape on both sides here, as you can tell, and I'm just right here is the edge. So I've got a blue vinyl on this side, and I just have masking tape on this side. And on the inside, I've also got a vinyl tape over here, and I've got the blue painter's tape kind of going around on it as well. And this blue painter's tape, one, it gives me a line on the glass right when I lift it up. It gives me kind of a indicator line of where to prime up to, although I'm not going to prime up to the blue line all the way. I'm just gonna get close to it, and that'll give me kind of some working idea of what I'm getting at. And then the rest of it is really for the Silka squish out, so that I can not have to deal with a huge mess against the window and that kind of stuff. But this one is pretty much ready to go. The Silka, I need to use the primer and the activator, that kind of stuff, to get this thing ready. And I've got my blocks of foam, and I've got my ratchet straps set on the table, and I got 4 of them lined up here, and I'll just get them to a point where I line up this door onto it as best I can, and then we'll figure it out from that perspective. But I just want to provide enough pressure again to put the glass against the doors and really hold that in. So this one, it's 6:30. So this one took me about an hour and a half to get like this. So I'll do this one tonight, and hopefully it'll be dry tomorrow evening, and then I'll do the other door over here. It's just sitting, waiting, hanging out, and I'll do it in the next day. So I'll do it Sunday night, and we'll see how that one goes as well. But then the doors can go over there. That's cool. So that's one huge step. Now the other step I did after I got back from the build seminar was I did clean up the edges on the glass a little bit more. I did step down my sandpaper to 120 grit, and I just block sanded the edge a little bit more to get rid of any additional waviness that I had in the line. And again, like I had let me go over to this door. I had a little bit of waviness on the line still from using the Dremel as much as I did. And there's still a hair here, but it's not horrible anymore. So it's barely noticeable at this point. So I'm not gonna overstress about it at this point. But I saw this more when I pulled back the plastic to start getting ready for the fusion process, I guess, to the door itself. So that part, when you peel both sides of it, you can see the edge a little bit more clearly, and you can see what it's doing here a little bit more. And I've got it beveled on this back side, so the line looks a little bit weird, but it's actually pretty good just because I've got a bevel on the back side that's making it look just a little wonkier. So that's that. Let me get this door done, and then we'll come back. All right, so we've done the 205 and we've done the 206. We've also done the Silka 295 UV. So that's all in there. I used a squeegee that I just cut up, right, and I made little notches. So that's Looking good all the way around. I like it. And everything seems to be holding. And the glass, again, it's got just the primer and the activator and the primer sitting on that as well. So now all I got to do is flip this over and secure it. So maybe the easy part, maybe the complex part. We'll see what happens. I did switch gloves. Obviously, I'm not wearing gloves right now. That's because I didn't want to risk any additional contamination. There's an edge here that I just kind of want to clean up just a little bit as well. So I'll pull a little bit of the silica just off that edge lip, just so it's not excessively squishing there at the start. But you see it right here, and there's a little bit right there and right there that I'm just gonna clean up just a little bit and then start squishing. All right, so there we are. It looks like all my squeeze out pretty much happened on the inside. It didn't happen on the outside much. So when I do the other window, I'm probably just I'm gonna fill this in, obviously, with some more silica when I get there tomorrow, and just finish that off, because that's not cool to have like that little gap there. So that's okay, not a big deal. But you can tell this is the way I've got it right now. I did start filling this just to play with it, but you know, because of the ratchet straps and all that and the blocking that's in the way, it's super hard to get that done on any consistency. So I ended up bailing on that. But yeah, we're gonna let this cure. It is, I don't know, 7:50 now. So this altogether, you know, I spent 3 hours on this tonight to get this done. So not horrible, but one window in, and we'll get the next one done hopefully tomorrow night. I'll do the same thing, and yeah, I won't touch this until the evening, because I just want it to do its thing and get cured, and we'll take it from there. Cool. All right, so windows currently, the last one is on the table and it's curing, and I think this one sadly will turn out better than the first one, or maybe not so sadly, but I like the way this one clamped up a little bit better. Honestly, it felt a little bit better. It still needs some cleanup work just to make these edges nicer. We'll see what that looks like in a little bit. This one is pretty much done. It's I've cleaned up the edges somewhat here, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. Now you can see a little bit of stuff happening here. That's not a big deal, remember, because this is all going to get painted anyway. So this is fine, and it looks pretty good all the way across. So I'm happy with the way the windows are. The windows will get installed in the next coming days as well. All right, so there you have it. It's kind of a target-rich environment right now. There's a lot of little things that can get worked on at the same time. There's some bigger things. Obviously, the side skins are kind of one thing that I want to get worked on. The firewall is one thing that I really want to get finished, because that opens the door to getting an engine mounted and that kind of stuff as well, which will make this garage have to get a little bit deeper, a little bit longer to make all that fit. So that's coming up in the next month or two. And then, you know, we're gonna continue on as well. I'll do the rear windows. I'll get those situated in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, we'll take care of, I don't know, maybe some carpeting on the rear as well, just to see what's happening on that front. But again, a lot of little things to get done. I need to order a couple more parts here and there. Beringer's going to love me because the front change with the firewall means that I'm short a couple of fittings, so I've got to order those as well, and they're not available from Aircraft Spruce and some other places, so they come directly from Beringer, and thankfully it's not a long wait. Thankfully they're usually pretty quick, usually within the week, to get them shipped and dropped off at the house. So that's nice, and then we'll go from there. But expect October to be, I think, just an October update, probably, unless something big happens. But next video will probably drop in, I don't know, 3-4 weeks. All right, see you then. Bye.